Now the session 2 is on role of digital technology in welding automation and quality improvement by Mrs. A. Shantakumari ma'am. She is additional general manager of Welding Research Institute, BHEL and Tiruchi. She has completed his BE in instrumentation and controls engineering and masters in information technology, and currently she is pursuing his PhD in welding technology at Anna University. He has over 30 years of experience in controls and instrumentation, power source development and evaluation, system development, solid state welding process, signature analysis in gas metal arc welding, robotic and automation. Her accomplishments include development of transistorized power source, controllers for indigenous electrogas machine welding, non-contact seam tracking system, image analysis in submerged arc welding, KM portal development, WRI India website development and consultancy management systems development, arc welding power source evaluation system, signature analysis of weld defects and power sources, her establishments of deep penetration in gas metal arc welding for headers of supercritical boilers, consumable development and testing, implementation of gas shielding alternator in tubular production, low-cost automation for hanger tube welding, valve disc overlaying, deep bore valve seal welding, friction welding of component for strategic sector of the country. His current pursuits includes working in on fusion welding process, solid state welding process, AUSC boiler materials, robotic and automation, power source and consumable evaluation, process analysis through analytical handover, strategic planning and IT. She's, she's currently serving as an additional GM of plant laboratory of BHL, and her responsibilities include mechanical and metallurgical testing of boilers, consumables and components, failure analysis, chemical analysis including feed, water, chemistry, etc. She has published more than 100 technical papers in various national and international journals, and she has more than 30 IPRs. She, she won various awards such as Nucor Award, Republic Day Award, Insan Award, Best Woman Employee Award, Eminent Woman Engineer Award from Institute of Engineers India, Hosu chapter, and Munnodi Penmani Award from Bharathidasan University, Best Technical Paper Award in WIS, Best Paper Award in International Conference by Institute of Engineers, and Best Technical Paper Award in ICOST. She has various members in. She has serving as a member in various professional bodies such as member of IIW, fellow membership of IE, Honorable Secretary Treasurer of Indian Welding Society, Vice Chairperson, the Indian Institute of Metals, Trichy Chapter, Life Member of Computer Society of India, Life Member QCFI, President Forum of Women in Public Sector, Bell Trichy, Secretary Arivalayam, the Special School for School Children, Members Lions Club International, Editors of WIS Journal and Metal, Newsletter of IIM Trichy Chapter. She has visited Japan and Italy for official purpose and presenting the technical paper in Indo-Japan workshop. She has other responsibilities of external examiner for Bharathidasan University and faculty for course by professional bodies, a member of Board of Studies in Kaveri College for Women Trichy, and she guided more than 35 postgraduate and graduate students for project work. Her career highlights include successfully developed and commercialized the mid-frequency direct current technology for thin sheet joining to meet the requirement of Ford USA. She developed MFDC welding technology for the first time in the current for joining corrugated stainless steel sheets with stainless steel sheets for 700 megawatt nuclear steam generators. She established the parameters for deformation resistant welding of fuel tanks of two-wheelers. She carried out consultancy projects to ISRO, ECIL, JSW, Tata Steel, SR Steel, etc. Her evaluation of GMAC consumables for Indian manufacturers for bill approval. She conducted various training programs to engineers of various customers. She has 25 IPRs and 108 technical papers. She developed a software for 8 different applications. She created and development and maintenance of website of WRI. She served in the editorial board of WRI journal till 2013. She brought out the digital version of 20 years of WRI journal in CD form. She is the pioneer in KM portal development and developed KM portal of WRI. Ma'am, I welcome you, ma'am. Now the session is yours. Hello. 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 Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, I was muted my mic. Okay, now,
Okay.
so should I share this? No, so now you have to stop the
I have to hide
presentation.
the presentation, ma'am.
Okay,
Please
okay,
wait.
right.
Yes, ma'am. You can
Yes,
share
ma'am.
it now.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Very good morning to all. Mm, uh, respected Dr. Murugan sir, Dr. Suresh sir, Dr. Ashok Kumar sir, PhD college faculties, other faculty members, and the PGs who have registered to this online program. A very good morning to everyone. At the outset, I express my thanks to the organizers, especially Dr. Suresh sir, Ashok Kumar sir, and Dr. Murugan sir, for having given me a wonderful opportunity to discuss about the role of digital electronics in technology in welding automation and quality improvement. The welding industry contributes significantly to the GDP in numerous ways, like auxiliary products and consumables, employment, both organized and unorganized sectors, through industries in India. To make ourselves to fulfill the government aim to make India the manufacturing industry process would need to evolve and help to increase production of the best quality of products. To do so, the welding process would need to move from manual and semi-automatic process to complete automation and by use of robots. Before going to the presentation, I hope the participants are aware of Welding Research Institute India. It is established in 1975 and in its 45 years of existence, WRI has got a glorious history in the field of welding and allied fields through consultancy to various sectors, through R&D, training and consultancy. I was informed that the basics of robotics, sensors, and automation, including IIoT and 3D printing, have been and will be covered in this program. Hence, here in this presentation, I would like to present you the WRA's experiences in this field of automation and the role of digital electronics in welding field. Now, a question to you: can the use of robo alone is called as automation? So everyone in mute condition. If everyone say that's no, then to this, then what could be the called as automation? So in my view, so now my presentation would be of automation, a key for enhanced quality and productivity in industries, some basics, some introduction, and automation experiences of WRI. As you might have attended the programs about basics and some applications. Now I am going to present you the experiences of BHL, not only WRI, of BHL towards the automation of automation for boiler components, including robotic automation. And the last part would be applications of digital technology. So it will be of two parts. One is automation experiences, another one is applications of digital technology. So now, my view about automation is technology employed to produce quality products, improve productivity, and render timely services. with the applications of mechatronics, PLCs, computers, including robots. So this could be my view of automation definition. It's also not possible to fully automate all functions every time. So, and also complete automation is also not required for a number of jobs, production jobs. In that cases, we can choose automation in stage wise. Automation can be done in stage wise by introducing a few simple automatic devices in an existing plant to save labor, to increase in input output, to reduce the physical effort of the operator, to achieve better quality of the product, and to ensure better productivity and profitability. So here is an example. I can say, am I audible, ma'am? Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, ma'am, audible, ma'am.
Sometimes we have some network issue. That's what I just checked.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. If so, see this image picture. If manual loading is process is, it's an example just to load. I mean, deliver a box from one place to another place. Okay. If a manual loading process is employed to move a component or a box, it may seems to be a laborious job. It needs more operators to do the job as depicted in the picture, and sometimes it also leads to operator fatigue. Suppose if we use a trolley we may reduce the operator fatigue a little. I think all will agree to this. And through motorized trolley, we may complete the job in reduced time as well as reduction of shifts by loading more products. Suppose if it is being used in shipping department, in a single motorized trolley, still we can reduce the time. Still, we need operator involvement for the trolley movement. Suppose by use of hoist, if you use hoist, we can eliminate further the operator fatigue level higher than that earlier process. We can also use the manpower only for loading and unloading. So this kind of level of automation can be done. Now, in case of a system like overhead conveyor, if you think to use in your shipping department, how many operators do you think that how many operators would it require? How much would be the improvement in delivery time from one place to another? So the automation level can be done in stages from low cost to higher level of automation. Here we will get into another question. Does it mean that automation leads to unemployment? The answer can be no, because it's just a method or tool we can use for automation. Low cost automation is to be applied to relieve manpower who is involved in routine tasks so that he can exercise his proper function of making decision or design. This can be achieved by introducing very simple devices such as limit switches, electrical relays, solenoid valves, or pneumatic actuators. Use of simple devices utilizing relatively cheaper and readily available components to minimize or eliminate the human effort in certain operations. Now coming to the concept of welding automation. So our topic of thing is welding automation. So this welding automation can be defined as it's a process by which a welding process hitherto done manually is automated partially or fully. This is achieved by controlling the welding parameters and the motion of the torch or the part to carry out controlled welding along the desired path. This involves integration of welding controllers, drives, positioners, sensors, etc. The extent of automation possible decides whether we can have a semi-automatic process or a fully automatic process. A welding quality check may not be integrated for different levels of automation. So welding automation efforts are gaining momentum not only because of the scarcity of skilled welders, but also it results in the advantages of improved productivity since we can use higher welding speeds and currents. Improved mechanical properties by minimized HAZ. Continuous welds can be achieved with a few start, stops, and also defects. less distortion, freedom from hazard and fatigue to the welders. For example, in manual mode by GM and by GMW mode, we can have a manual mode of GMAW, we can have welding speed of 0.3 meter per minute with a welding current of 250 amps. Whereas in mechanized mode, the speed can go beyond 1 meter and the current also can go up by 2 times. And if we choose robotic welding, we shall also increase the speed even more than that. So to perform a quality weld, three type of functions are essential, which can be categorized as physical functions and intelligent functions. Two types, physical and intelligent. The physical functions such as feeding the electrode, moving the arc along the joint, etc., can be called comes under physical functions. Then intelligent functions include the programming and control functions. Programming means setting proper welding parameters, sequence of welding operations, etc. And control functions includes taking corrective action online during welding to achieve the desired results. As per AWS 3, A3.0, classification of automatic welding systems, it defines a mechanized process welding as a process in which all the physical functions are being performed by the machine and the welder performs the intelligent functions. In the automated mode, all our more intelligent functions are taken care of by machine along with the physical functions. So this slide compares the performance of various functions in the manual, semi-automatic, and automatic mode, mechanized and automatic modes of welding. In manual mode, all the functions are performed by the welder, and in automatic mode, of all functions are being taken care of by the machine. In case of mechanized mode, the machine takes care of arc initiation, arc stability, wire feed, and control of penetration and arc travel along the joint are taken care of by the machine. However, guiding arc length along the joint, manipulation of the torch, and arc correction to overcome deviations are carried out by the welder. So this slide, we can say the automation process requires all form of parts, either a circular or orbital or longitudinal, and even sometimes we may need to go this kind of seams. That is, this may be needed in overlaying or hot piecing. To take care of all these, we may have to plan seam control and in some cases weld sequencing also. So for successful implementation of such systems, we should develop the effective control systems with the seam tracking control of welding line, adaptive control for welding conditions, and welding monitoring. The sensors play a vital role in the development of the control systems mentioned here. Hope these might have been covered by Dr. P.R. Venkateswaran in detail yesterday. So I'm skipping about the sensors and controllers. Coming to the arc welding process, which can be automated or GTAW, gas junction arc welding, gas metal arc welding, submerged arc welding, plasma arc welding, and also flux core arc welding, are the candidate fusion welding processes. Besides these, beam welding processes, laser and electron beam, resistance welding, hybrid process, and also solid state welding process also could be automated. Example, you may know that yesterday Ashok Kumar sir would have taken about resistance welding in automobile industries. That has 99% of Western welding. Automotive in automobile production is being taken care of by fully automation. Out of all the automated methods, the robot welding provide lots of flexibility to the user industries. We can say they not only provide assured quality and productivity, but also provide competitive advantages to the companies. These can be engaged based on the criticality of the program, that is the geometry, dimensions, as well as the cost of automation and lead time. For example, in an automobile process, one car has to come out of the assembly section in 52 seconds. That means one car has to be produced in 1 minute. Otherwise, think of what could be the loss considering the production time delay. So robotic welding offers a number of advantages. You might have heard it from many faculties. Increase in productivity can be increased by enabling greater work on time and moving quickly between the weld joint positions. Consistent and repeatability can be achieved by perform precisely the same weld cycle continuously. Flexibility, we can save valuable time and eliminate tool changes as grippers can grab and any part regardless of the size or shape, position it on the assembly and hold it tight during the welding process. Safety, that is reducing the number of accidents to workers in the metal fabrication industries by means of robotic welding. Quality can achieve superior quality can be achieved by ensuring the correct welding angle, speed, and distance with repeatability of accuracy. On the labor side, we can alleviate issues in busy times by reducing the additional hours of labors and the need of hire and train extra staff. All this can be eliminated. Reduced consumables can be, that is, programs can be programmed to always weld to the correct length and the size of the joint requirement. Thus, we can reduce the consumable usage. And then production cost can be reduced by saving reduced energy consumption and also consumable cost in addition to lowering workers compensation and insurance cost. Reduction in weld distortions tuned to the correctly size the weld for the requirement of the joint, minimize the amount of the weld process and complete the process with speed to minimizing the heating of the surrounding metal that can expand and lead to distortion. Increased competitive advantage, allowing for faster completion and delivery of the products while ensuring consistent quality. For example, in automobile company, 2 to 4 models of cars can be produced in the same line by programming the robot. But before taking a decision to go for robotic welding, the return on investment has to be considered carefully. So overall, we can say in robotic welding, a robot welding system should have the capabilities to track the hour points, start points, tracking online course correction to produce quality welds. So now I am going to give some slides about a few successful implementations carried out by DHL that will be discussed in the forthcoming slides. I think it will be of interesting to you also. This is for tubular joints. The automation has been done in BHL. See, you know that it is a power component, power products. So we cannot have a robo in all functions of its production. So from low cost automation up to the robo level, we tried to automate the functions of the boiler components production. So I'm just saying few functions which have been automated from lower cost to high cost. Actually, this is also can be considered as a high cost because number of automation levels are involved here. The automation has been done for giving a job to the welding machine using a waterfall rack. Tube will be automatically feed into the machine, and after welding the system, it will feed out the welded tube to the at the real-time radiography room. The straight tube bulk welders with waterfall rack tubing and feed and to outfeed systems are the workhorses of the company like BHL to produce few lakhs of weld joints every year, and automation is done to a level of producing the weld joint for a real-time radiography test being done at the control room along with this in the production line. After that's in real time. After the welding, we use for sending the tubes to the room. We use the motorized systems. So this high level of automation had been done in production of tubular joints. This another automated system called the 20 torch panel processing machines with the solid wire GMAW process using arc and CO2 as shielding gases forms the panels. The welding has been carried out on both sides simultaneously using 20 torch machine, that is 10 torches are organized at the bottom, that is for overhead welding, and 10 at the top side in downhand position without distortion. By the automated control, we have to do all these welding function. So a typical 500 megawatt panel has 2.5 kilometer of weld fillets in both sides. Speedier welding, spatter-free controls, distortion, and very low defect levels has been achieved with this kind of automated system in DHL. During the panel welding, the next slide would be panel welding. Sometimes we have issues of, as I said, no, this is 20 torch machine. Even sometimes we have issues of skip welds because it's continuously it has to weld a 2.5 kilometer of fillet weld. So sometimes the skip weld will be there. Hence, a carriage mounted welding system that will move on the panel has been developed for repairing the skipples and also for joining mini panels by which we were able to save operation cost. Otherwise, we used to run the 20 torch machine For welding the mini panels, we have to load a 20-torch machine for that single line of welding. So this system has been developed and it is being used successfully. And the programmable, this is a programmable orbital gas tungsten arc welding system with a tailor-made tube edge preparation and joint fit-up equipment. That is all are integrated into this. That were all brought into a single station, suspended from a movable gantry, resulting in a high productivity and a lesser operator fatigue in making the joints in 5G precisions. So this is another automated system which had been developed with the help of Primo automations. Bifurcates are used in 500 megawatt boilers wherein U-tube, you can see here, U-tube and a third leg, lengthier tube with bends will be joined together at the bottom of the U-tube. So this was earlier done by manual GTAW process. You can see here. The edge preparation on YouTube will be made through pull-out system, and making a defect-free weld is, was a really challenging one. By developing a mechanized system, and the welds were made successfully with GTAW root pass and filler passes with GMAW. Since the tubes will have a deviations in all the three axes, aligning them in the joint area was achieved by making a flat bed. By implementing this system, the productivity has increased to 300%. This is another automation, welding of hand-hole pipe with a dished end. You can see the image here. Ends was another challenge as the weld should meet 100% RT quality as per ASME and subjected proof testing by hydrostatic test at shop. A mechanized welding friction had been developed to make the root pass by SDT, the waveform control process, because here we have gone fully GMAW process. Earlier it was done by TIG welding for root pass and further process by manual GTAW or GMAW or SAW or SMAW. But by developing this picture and by automating and the thought of automation, we brought into the waveform control processes into this, and fully GMAW process had been developed. This has replaced the manual GTAW and SMAW process and increased the quality and productivity level. We could achieve 600% increase in productivity by this mechanization. These are systems that have been developed worldwide in number of power source system manufacturers. The automated orbital hot wire TIG welding for pipe welding, it can be used for site applications. It is a portable system. We can take it to site, and we have used this, taken this to our site implementations for pipe welding, for repair, and also the welding works. This is another successful establishment of mechanized welding procedure for reactor header subassembly for nuclear steam generators. This is another significant development made in the recent past. The weld should meet 100% radiography and 100% ultrasonic test, and the weld root penetration should be of less than 0.5 mm. With the manual SMAW process, the rejections were over 25%. Earlier, they were also using inserts for root pass. Now, with this automation, the necessity to use the insert for root pass had been eliminated. What we had developed here is special fixtures to hold the jobs in the orbital hot wire tube butt welding machine. So these in-house developed fixtures had been helped us to do to achieve this uh, flawless or a defect-free weld. Less than 1% we got defects through this automation. WRE is also working with OEMs to develop boiler panels. So in shop we use these 20-torch machine for doing panels, but in site applications, this panel welding is really a challenge because of the distortion and also the height of the panels. It will be in a vertical position. We have to do the groove weld or fillet weld, and that is tube to fin weld has to be done. To replace this low productive SMAW process, this technology had been developed, bridging the non-uniform gap between the joining phases is a major challenge in developing this technology. And we also work for low-cost automation for thin-walled pipe welding in 5G position to enhance the productivity and quality. This is another development, elbow. That is, the elbow is like this, and the tube has to be welded with the elbow. By joining this, it was a side joint earlier, and it had been given to shop factory to do this at a shop joint. And so, by joining this, they were using manual process with the manual GTAW process. That too with a skilled welder. For him, it took time for making a quality joint. Mostly, 5 weld joints used to be made per shift by a skilled welder. With the mechanics way of gas tungsten or welding, including the hot wire addition, we were able to increase the production percentage to 20 weld joints per shift, and the reworks could be reduced to less than 1%. Even for this, an operator will be sufficient so that a skilled welder can be deployed for other welding requirements. This slide shows a TIG with automated wire feeding, which is another way of automation done by the power source manufacturers. That is the wire feeding to the GTAW process. Earlier, a GTAW welder, ma'am, is there any issue? Am I audible, sir? I think someone has put their mic on.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
sir. Yeah, okay, sir. Okay, ma'am. Yeah, GTAW welder need not use both hands. One for holding. Normally, they used to use one for holding the torch and the other hand for feeding the wire. So this development has combined by this technological. Both these functions had been combined to by this technological improvement, and the same has been used for a curvilinear repair welding of an LP rotor blade in our in one site. So this process also can be used for welding of pipes. So for Rogers, I've seen here this process has been used again for welding of pipes in site applications. For larger volume of lug plate welding for nuclear steam generators, a SAW equipment with a laser vision system was developed indigenously where there was no known method for making curvilinear welding by productive SAW process. The implementation of the system in place of manual welding increased the productivity to a level of 300 percentage with lesser defect rate. Here, this is about the development of a mechanized submerged arc welding process for fabrication of HPLP valve component in place of SMAW process to bring down the cycle time production from 16 man days to 3 man days. Now, I think you may appreciate the level of automation. Without robo, we can able to do a higher level of automation with other tools like PLCs or positioners, all these things. The, this is another recent development. It is an innovative application of hard facing using flux code arc welding process with alloys in wire form incorporated directly into the weld code. The Solid 6 alloy was used on the wall disc. This is a wall disc component of it's a nine. There are even the wall discs are available in chromoly steel material. The good wear resistance can be obtained due to the characteristics of chromium carbide dispersed in a matrix alloy is deposited. These results showed pore free, that is porosity free coating without surface oxidation, and required dilution was achieved with this process. We used the STT process. It was a well suited process for this application. It required nearly 25 passes per layer to complete the slating by manual TIG process, whereas with this flux code wire, we use only 6 passes and with the minimum of only 2 layers. With controlled weaving, we achieved the desired quality. It was also tested and has taken nearly a shift to complete. For manual metal arc welding, it required two and a half shifts to complete the welding. But with automation using the positioner, you can see here positioner and the XY cross slide with controller and the continuous feed wire by XCAW process, we could able to achieve complete it in 2 hours, including the interpose time. And also the another major advantage achieved by this is the way of overlaying. We were able to avoid the intermediate heat treatment cycle in case of 91 material. This is again friction stir welding. Here, you know that friction stir welding can be done even with vertical milling machine, but we have friction stir welding machine at our Rudrapur unit. There, the product is busted component for boiler application. The fixture was needed. Fixture and tool is a major major application that has to be development that has to be used for welding of friction stir welding of this component. So to automate this welding, we had to develop the fixture and tool to guide to guide the CNC for the continuous friction stir welding of an octagonal aluminum busted component, which there reduced the welded component, and also it had got qualified in UT. So this level of automation had gone through in our boiler components. Now we were also robotic automation through robotic will be challenging to pressure component because it's a high pressure components. It will be a challenge, but anyhow we were also using robots in our shops. This is an example: CNC gantry robo welding system integrated with the gas metal arc welding for fabrication of sub-assemblies of transformer tank. Gantry robo welding. Gantry moves on two rails, which is suitably protected against dust spatter, and the inverter robot is hanging from the gantry. Linear axis of the gantry are driven by synchronized two AC servo motors. It is designed to travel the length of 12 meters. Height of the gantry is about 2.5 meters. The inner dimension of the gantry is 6 meters. Inverter-based power source MIG welding operating to 400 amps with 100% duty cycle with provision of welding in standard MIG, pulse MIG, and synergic MIG welding was used here. The components welded or with this system, the transformer tank subassemblies are being welded, and because of this, the weld processing time of the components was reduced to 60%. The necessity for back chipping, die penetrant test, and the second side welding have been eliminated by developing parameters for full penetration joints from single side. You can also see some more pictures of this. This is another, I have a video, but it's not running here. I'll just skip this. There is capacitor box welding by Robo with laser hybrid welding system had been developed at BHL Bhopal. This Robo has also used for repair welding of wall bodies, that is machining, this building up of material. We are now saying about 3D printing, all these things. We used our Robo with the CMT power sources because of we needed a low heat input process for repair of this wall body component. Special fixture has been developed for positioning the wall body to integrate it with Robo. We were able to do this repair welding of Robo with this CMT process. Um, this is another automation had been done for automotive wheels with the time twin process. The wheel rim welding has been tried with the GMAW process. This is another robotic welding for wall body yoke component. Here we used two robots for pick up the component and fixing it for welding, and another robot for welding has been done by this GMAW process. There are these are many applications we tried for not only power sector, for other automotive sector, and an LPG cylinder also had been tried out for weldability of LPG material. We tried with time tune process and the HRSG module welding for power product that has been tried with the automated robo systems with the time tune process, and I already said truck wheel welding by tandem GMAW process had been tried out. Now, Robo also had been used for a history of coating. Nowadays we started using the turbine blade itself with 3D printing or additive manufacturing. Here we did coating of blades by we used Robo for that. Here again, the same coating had been employed by employing robo. This is another interesting application which we developed by automation. A special system WRA developed to achieve full penetration in header to stub application or a pipe to tube application. Normally, the stub on the header is being welded using SMAW process. For nickel alloys welding and to achieve the deeper penetration to weld high peak place, there was a design requirement to achieve this deep penetration. It is not a full penetration, it's a deep penetration with a special system has to be designed because it has to be done by GTAW process, and we have to fabricate to have the, for this we have the root cause. Inside the joint configuration, the stub is placed and further process or for full penetration was achieved by conventional TIG welding process. A special purging setup also, you can see here the purging setup has been developed, fabricated for this welding. So this is another, in the previous slide, I've shown you the automation by TIG welding as an internal fusion process. This may be of very interesting to you that a special automated system is available now for header to stub or a pipe to tube application. This system has been developed by the Indian manufacturer, and we are going to purchase this. By considering the pitch of the two adjacent stubs, this fixture development had to be considered. So this kind of weld is being carried out by manual SMAW process, as I said earlier, with the different sizes of electrodes. For root pass 2.5 mm electrode, then for further passes with higher 3.15 or 4 mm electrodes had been used. The number of starts and stops and the slag removal and the dye penetrant test in each layer was the limitations in manual SMAW, which could be eliminated by this kind of system. You can see manual welding as well as the automated welding. We could able to get a full penetration weld here with this system. A demonstration had been done by the system manufacturer. Here, the another recent development that's hanger tubes. These are called hanger tubes. This has to be welded with a plate of with similar arrangements. The hanger tubes, as you see in the photographs, are fabricated by placing the strip on the plate wherever we call has to be welded on tube, which had been carried out by SMAW process earlier by employing two SMAW welders for every hanger tube welding to avoid distortion. A special system with a double wire welding had been tried out and that accrued benefit by the tailor-made mechanized tube-to-plate welding system is reduce the arcing time for welding and saving in cost and energy, increase the productivity by higher level speed, travel speed obtained by the mechanized system. Without any distortion, we could able to achieve this, and the dependency on welder skill is eliminated. Besides the increased productivity 300% and the reduced cycle time, you will able to see the welded product of the hanger tube of 2 meter length. I think it is 2 to 3 meter. This had been done at our unit 2, where Mr. Rajshekhran sir is working. He is involved he is the leader of this project. His team was involved in making this automated development. This same technology had been, you can see here, the manual welding and GMAW, FCAW process we use here. And the same technology had been adopted for a carrier plate welding of boiler production. Even for 91 material, we tried this technology and successfully developed. WRA has the state-of-art facility with a high quality fiber laser. We have multiple processing head for cladding, external and internal cladding, and also welding, a CNC robot processing stations, a 6 kilowatt fiber laser with a dual beam that is in a time sharing mode is being used. Laser can be transported to either to CNC or a robot station. We have a 1800 in length and 2500 width and 800 meter height of the 6-axis robo coupled with the 2-axis for turn and tilt. The robo has 30 kg capacity as it can be used for cladding. We also have laser weld monitoring to weld the behavior of to understand the behavior of the lasers. With this, we have made a number of trials for fabrication of the precise components by welding, which also included the valve gate, which had been done in a single layer. It was a very good development by laser because earlier it was I mean still also we are doing only with SMAW. This system which had been done by laser cladding had to be get approval. So we'll be using this in future. This was a really critical job for wall gate. It's a wall gate. And here we can see the mechanized systems we have for welding of high thick plate pipe as well as narrow groove joint, the hot wire narrow gap hot wire systems with the column and boom structure as well as orbital welding systems which can be used in site applications as well. These applications are available to take care of our pipe production, including the newer material like nickel alloys. You know, WR is working for AUC material, so all AUC material, pipe and tube weldings had been done with these kind of systems. These systems has a weld monitoring provision also. Hence, by viewing the weld pool and the filler material melting through camera, will be able to align the groove, align the torch to the groove. This is another robotic system available for cladding of wall component. You can see here wall component for internal or external cladding. And there is an automated pipe cutting also available now in our shops, including even with the chamfering with, along with the pipe edge preparation. So we also tried feasibility of trial 3D printing for turbine blade components. Um, to summarize with this, the first part, there are plenty of systems available for automating any process. We can develop our own system as tailor-made one to our requirement, to suit our requirement, and we can think of adapting cost-effective automation techniques to suit our products. And I hope you will agree to that automated welding can provide a large gains in productivity and profitability in the right applications. Now coming to the second part of my presentation on role of digital technologies in welding applications. What is digital welding? It can include chipsets and small pre-programmed circuits, but the term digital when referring to a welder does not mean that it is a digital machine. Digital in welder means that almost all the basic controls of the machine are managed by microprocessor the chips. What is inspiring in welding industry today is the welding has been primarily associated with mechanical engineering. Interestingly, when we see the welding machine manufacturers little closely, you will find that they are engaged in electrical and electronic manufacturing. This brings in a fundamental change in the way we look at the industry. When it is controlled in terms of electronics, it becomes a combination of hardware and software. While the development in the hardware side has been growing, the software side also has grown leaps and bounds along with the digitalization. The foremost technology out of the top 10 technologies today is IIoT, 3D printing, additive manufacturing. Today, companies bring in total quality welding quality management system through IIoT covering the welding documentation and the quality requirements for welding procedures. It also enables full traceability of welding activities before, during, and after welding. As additive manufacturing and IIoT are being covered by experts during this 5 days program, I will cover only the how digitalization techniques helps in welding applications, particularly in practical situations. That some of the developments which we tried out with digital technology that will be covered in the forthcoming slides. The trend of digitalization known as Industry 4.0, in which big data plays a crucial role. The big data usage were primarily the big internet players such as Google, Amazon, Facebook, or Twitter. The enormous success of these internet giants illustrates just how valuable the resource of data is today by storing and processing. This is one of the systems used for welder and perforation system. welding in the virtual world has a high potential. You can say it's a virtual welder simulator. Any welder can evaluate themselves by using this, by getting trained in virtual welder. We can receive constant feedback on parameters such as distance, speed, or angle of attack during welding, and can train hand skills in more targeted manner. When a trainee welder sit in the welding booth after getting training this in the booth for the first time, they could feel themselves, they could know pretty well whatever they need to look for the ability to familiarize people with no practical experience. The welding in an environment without risk of welding flash or extreme heat, we can get trained through this virtual welder. We have got this SMAW, GMAW, even including GTAW, and all position, vertical, horizontal, and even 5G position could a welder can get trained in all these things with this tool. It is a tool for welder to evaluate themselves before going for practical welding. Nowadays, the electronics and digital technology integrated chips brought the welding power sources as compatible one with any robot. Even Dr. Suresh had said about this. I just came into earlier session for a few minutes. After that, the line got cut. There was network problem. It can be ensured that the weld quality is good. There is no work, no rework or rejection. The welds are spatter-free and entail high quality to ensure better control on arc and position of the torch, so that we get a perfect weld without depending on the welder skill. These integrated digital system in welding power sources helps in uniform penetration, controls the heat input so that the deformation is bare minimum and the weld bead is beautiful and gives the desired shape. And there are GMAW power sources for welding of aluminium, the difficult to weld material earlier by GMAW process, which are used in automotive, especially for aerospace applications. So there are number of power source manufacturers have made their own trademark technologies called waveform control power sources. You can also see here number of power sources had been developed. This system is spot welding system. This being robot is automated integrated with a spot welder to use in automobile applications. We'll see here in a few slides about research work that has been done by WRA using the digital techniques for power source evaluation, optimization of process parameters, welding consumable evaluation, and quality management. If time is there, I will go in detail, or otherwise I will give an overview about these things, power source evaluation, consumable evaluation, and quality improvement. The properties of power supplies can be defined by their static and dynamic characteristics. The static characteristics, which are the correlation between the output voltage and current for variable loads, determine the power source suitability. The dynamic characteristics, which are welding voltage and the current or current waveforms recordings caused by the metal transfer across or welding parameters and electrical parameters to the power source, such resistance, capacitance, and inductance determine the stability of the welding process. The static characteristics of the power sources can be easily verified at the user's premises, that is vendor side, for ensuring the specification as well as for calibration. With simple load test, the static output characteristics of the power source can be tested, but the performance of the power source, mainly the dynamic characteristics of the power source, should be tested at the user end and also to ensure the claims of the suppliers, since it will affect the process capability. We can say the waveform of short circuit itself, current itself is a result of dynamic properties of the welding electrical circuitry, which are the first one which will get affected by the power source properties. For example, the rate of rise of current affects the metal transfer. The peak level of the short circuit current influences the amount of spatter and its nature. And the dynamic characteristics of the welding power source are difficult to evaluate, and it is for this reason, none of the standards of the arc welding power sources described about them. So moreover, internationally acceptable parameters of dynamic characteristics have not been evolved so far. So the most effective method for this investigation is to record and to classify online electronically significant process signals and to evaluate this statistically through required a special instrumentation system. Earlier, we were using digital storage oscilloscope, and we also developed our own weld capturing system for arc voltage and current. With digital storage oscilloscope, the storing of the high level of big data will be very difficult. So, one such system, a high level of instrumentation system, there are number of systems available. PVC data logger, that is RQ. Then another one is from USA. This is a special system made by Professor Reifelt of Leibniz University, from Hanover University. He developed this system called Analysis at Hanover. We have at WRI this 22nd version of this Analysis at Hanover. We use this for data acquisition system with a special software for our works. I hope you all agree in each welding process has its own characteristics. The arc voltage and the welding current are the two basic parameters which are used for statistical analysis. And these voltage and current values cannot be used as raw because for statistical analysis, because there will be a large amount of volume of data cannot be used as it is. So data reduction is a must. From transients, we have to do this. These values are random variables which can be classified statistically from the CFDs, that is class frequency distribution. The mean values and other statistical parameters such as standard deviation, variation coefficients, and mean value can be calculated statistically. The measurement system can include the data acquisition with the sensor for current and voltage. TRV, Dr. TRV would have told about the Hall effect sensor would be the best one for measurement of such welding systems. So these we can use low pass filter for voltage. Why do we use filter here is you may see here in this slide the voltage and current signals without filtering and with filter. So while capturing the signal, we will have more unwanted signals such as noise. Hence, to get the correct data for analysis, we should design use of proper filter has to be designed. We used our own low pass filter for filtering the voltage signal. Here in this slide, you may appreciate the result of effective filtering. The mean voltage and the standard deviation values of the unfiltered, that is in red color, and the filtered signal in blue color. Hence, to have a good understanding, to get the data for appropriate interpretation, we have to have the high-end filters have to be used for signal analysis. It is a must for data acquisition. Here is another example as we use the digital electronics data acquisition systems for evaluation of welding process power sources. The dynamic characteristics testing had been carried out on a constant current power source. Though the power source gives constant current, the standard deviation is more. The standard deviation you can see here, it's more. There are strong current oscillations observed during and after long short circuits, which will affect the process stability, and also the current waveform voltage waveform is not as much required because of the poor feedback control circuitry had been used in this power source. So this way you can use the digital electronics data acquisition systems for power source evaluation. This is another power source we tested at our lab. And again, if you consider the normal conventional modes of metal transfer in GMAW process, why I am saying here modes of metal transfer is because the power source GMAW power sources had been developed in multi-fold, as Dr. Suresh sir would have mentioned this in his lecture. In the normal modes of in the recent past, the power source technology for arc welding process has undergone many changes with new features due to the advancement in the field of electronics and computing technology. With the exponential increase in the processing capabilities, the speed of electronic chips and information technology in the past decade paved way for the introduction of new waveform control power sources. Several of the world-renowned welding equipment manufacturers have come up with a variety of waveform control power sources with their trademark technologies suitable for welding applications. So these among these conventional power sources, it is not possible to lower the current in the short circuit mode of metal transfer is being used for thin sheet welding, root pass welding, and also gap bridging. So we also tried one of these power sources for automated steel. We were able to get good seam welding, lap joining. So we can also say that this kind of GMAW power sources can replace the seam robot, that is resistance seam welding. So with it was not possible to lower the current in the short time necessary, as it does not permit the rapid control of the current due to the mass of the transformer and the downstream choker. The case is different with the inverter power sources, because here in the inductivity can be set electronically and can in the event of a short circuit be even fully shut down, which means that only the inductivity in the welding leads remains active. So the rise and fall of the current during the short circuit phase and the reignition of the arc can therefore be fully stabilized very quickly with lesser and even no sputter. So you can see here the conventional short circuit, the ramp up at the base current, from the base current, the ramp up and the droplet forms, and it gets dropped on the weld pool, and then again it continues. Whereas in the new waveform control power sources, they reduce the current initially for to avoid the premature droplet formation, and also they reduce the current again before the droplet transfer to avoid the spatter. So in this way, the inverter-based power sources, waveform control power sources have been developed to suit the different applications in thin sheet joining, wood pass application, and also cladding applications. Here are a power source had been studied for root cause application for pipe welding, and the same was used for root cause welding of pipe and further process with flux core arc welding process to achieve a very good weld of 32 thick pipe for site applications. We used this one of the waveform controlled power sources. Here another power source had been studied called STT. I think STT we have used this. Already I have discussed this in my earlier automation things, development of fixture for handheld pipe. For this we used the STT power source here. And we also use this kind of waveform control power sources for replacing the resistance seam welding and also gap bridging, which could be of more useful in automotive applications, automobiles. Here is CMT is another, we can say, a boon to the welding users. It has been added with another digital control technology, feed forward motion of the torch mechanically beside the waveform controls. You may able to see the application of CMT as a replacement of the conventional short circuit modes of metal transfer in automotive applications, with which the productivity was improved, achieved more than 60%. Here is a peculiar waveform of the CMT process. The added advantage of this process, that is the power is got reduced nearly zero. The current is reduced zero during the droplet transfer. So it can be used for dissimilar material welding also, because earlier for dissimilar welding we were using only GTAW process, but with the advent of waveform controlled technique, we could able to use weld dissimilar material joining by this kind of CMT process, and it is also better to aluminum to steel, even coated steel can be welded by this process. That's how it can also replace the resistance seam welding process in automobile application. This slide shows the integration of such power source. You can see here a robotic Fronius stick welding and a Fronius CMT power source are being used in a robot line for automotive applications. Now we'll see how the data acquisition can be used for welding consumable evaluation. As everyone are aware, solid wire and flux core wire or metal core wire are being used to continuously feed the wire to the weld pool in GMAW process. Even at the same duty cycle as manual metal arc welding process, the flux core wire process can give much higher productivity because it can operate at higher densities. Flux core uses a tubular wire that is filled with the flux. The arc is initiated between the continuous wire electrode and the workpiece. The flux which is contained within the core of the tubular electrode melts during the welding and shields the weld pool from the atmosphere. Direct current electrode positive is normally employed in flux core arc welding. These requirements of flux core wire manufacturing are clean. The major problem in FCAW are inhomogeneity of the flux and issues related to wire feeding instability. So these two issues are the major issues while producing the flux core wire. Among these, the inhomogeneity of the flux distribution sometimes affects the process stability of the welding. So the existing methods of assessing the quality of flux core wire by the filling coefficient by the weight of wire lengths are actually lacking in the sensitivity to the heterogeneity in different parts of the wire core flux. This has led to the task of developing methods of assessing the homogeneity of the wire core flux. Here we tried two different flux, same flux from two different suppliers. We tried to evaluate this flux core wire by this conventional method of wire length and cross-sectional area. We can see here the average flux occupied area of the second flux core, the second sample was higher than that of the first one. So this inhomogeneity can be tried out and can be obtained by way of using our data acquisition system, including auto analyze at Hanover. We used analyze at Hanover for this testing of flux core wire. So we tested the flux core wire by use of the arc welding quality analysis system, analyze at Hanover. Two different flux core wires of 81 T1 have been considered. Um, and on analysis, it was found that the flux filled area for this R characteristic study, fully mechanized welding trials were carried out with a robo controller in 1G position on thick plates, 20 thick common low carbon steel wire using a power source operating in a constant voltage mode with a continuous monitoring of the welding current and welding. There are significant differences in the statistical values of the mean value of the welding voltage on the arc. You can see here the current of the first set of wire and the current of the second set of wire had been got increased. This way also we can see that as I said, this second set of wire had got increased average occupied flux occupied area. So this could be evaluated by using data acquisition system with digitally. So this standard deviation of the welding current, the span values of I max and I min, depending on the two wires, two types of wires are shown here. The current
Ma'am? Hello?
out. Madam, I think there may be some problem. Okay, she will be joining soon. Please wait. I request all the participants. Be patient. She was telling no. I think
Ma'am,
so.
sir,
Huh?
sir, ma'am has lost the connection, sir. She's trying now.
Okay, okay,
Okay, sir. We'll wait, sir. She's trying.
okay, okay. லைன்ல தான் இருக்காங்களா இது காணவே ஓகே ரைட் தேங்க்யூ ப்ளீஸ் அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க மேடம்
Ma'am, okay.
Now it's okay, ma'am. You can proceed,
Okay,
ma'am.
this PowerPoint, are you able to see, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Yes. So I think I left it here. Since current waveform seems was reflecting sensitively reflect the stability of the welding process, we used this 30-second data into 1 second data. 30 sectional curves of PDDs were obtained, and since these PDDs there were higher fluctuations in the current PDDs, which confirmed that there was a higher inhomogeneous flux or mineral distribution. The intersections of these sectional curves with the axis in this case is less uniform, corresponding to the Imax and minimum. So, in this way, we were able to analyze the flux filling combination of the flux core wire. In this way, we can use this digital electronics data acquisition systems for analyzing the welding consumables. Here is another work which had been carried out at WRA in real-time defect. This is another trials which had been done for solid electrodes. Electrode testing, evaluation of electrodes had been carried out for the two electrodes, which had been one was imported, and the other our own electrode development area. Mr. CPR had developed on electrode, so we were able to evaluate our electrode for further development, and we were using this analysis Hanover for electrode development also. That is another slide which I can show here is the evaluation of the consumable, that is solid wire. This was one of the work for as a consultancy to our internal consultant to our welding technology development. This had been done for choosing a best wire among three same brand of three customers. So this was imported wire of 91 wire, I think. So we could able to evaluate this wire, solid wire also with this analyzer Hanover by this technique. This is another work, interesting work, which had carried out at WRA in real-time defect detection using a digital system data analysis. Pulsed GMAW process is employed as a productive process for manufacturing of boiler pressure pots. Though the defect level is not more than 2%, the occurrence of defects hamper the production and the productivity, with the objective to establish a correlation between the input variables and the welding quality. Through the ORC signature analysis, this work has been carried out. Though the process of welding can be automated, the controlling of process to identify and eliminate the defects still remains a challenge. NET techniques such as radiography, ultrasonic testing offers only post-weld inspection, which adds up to the cost and increases the cycle time also. This necessitates the need for developing such system for monitoring of the welding process to identify the defects in real time so as to control or eliminate it completely during before start of the further level of production continuously. So the researchers have adopted several techniques like in the area of welding automation. They will be using different that is for welding setup. We can use the different signals, current, voltage, spectroscopy, microphone, all these things, and the signal processing techniques, amplitude, Fourier analysis, wavelet. Number of methods, techniques, and classifiers are all available for qualifying a weld. Here, if you take a spectroscopy, radiation emitted by the plasma present in the electric arc is captured using this spectroscopy sensors. The studies of spectrum of the electric arc stability intensity of radiation emitted by the spectral lines are used for spectroscopy. In acoustic sensing, the welding arc sound represents the behavior of the electrical parameters of the welding arc. The molten pool and the droplet transfer is being used by employing a microphone and a piezoelectric sensor. Here, the time domain analysis and wavelet transform analysis are being used. For infrared sensing, the electro-optic sensors are used to detect the signals to measure the and thermometer measures the temperature by detecting the infrared energy emitted by the material which are at temperatures above the absolute zero. So that is 0 degree Kelvin. So again, the electrical impedance method, it is a similar method of arc voltage and capturing. But here, by recognizing the patterns of these waveforms, the joining quality could be evaluated. So in order to understand the characteristics of all signal, the frequency domain has been used here. So this graph, you can see this graph shows the evidence of the number of defects which had been calculated. That is per shift, that is for longer number of days, per month or per year. If you choose, if you evaluate the process of defects in welding shop, this had been collected cumulatively, and the number of defects like gas hold, burn through, and fusion related defects are the major ones in welding of tubular welding production in our boiler shops. We tried out. So these trials. So we wanted to evaluate this with signature analysis. We wanted to employ this detection of defects. We started. We wanted to start these trials. So for demonstrating this defect detection at WRI, some trials we tried out. The trials are conducted on a 12 thick carbon steel plate with a 70-degree included angle in single V joint. The weld parameters were optimized with solid wire using argon CO2 shielding gas. What is shown here is the top and the bottom of the good weld achieved with the optimized parameters. The top and bottom views of the weld shows the uniform bead with ripples and the full penetration achieved. We can see here. If the in the undisturbed signal, these are the signals which we captured for voltage and current for this pulsed GMAW welding. So in the undisturbed arc, we can see uniformity and cyclically repeating of the signals which we obtained through this signature analysis, signal capturing system. In the PDD, also we can see the three well-defined peaks with a smooth curve for a good weld. The current and voltage are recorded with respect to time in second. These values are cyclically repeated for undisturbed arcs. These regions are deflected as three peaks in the PDDs of both current and voltage have three peaks corresponding to the three regions of the distribution of the values. So these regions are reflected as three peaks in PDDs, both current and voltage corresponding to the three regions. The picture shows the relationship between the transient values of the here this shows the transient of the values of the voltage and current, and here the PDD. It is being shown here. So now we tried the burn through defect. I'm not showing that picture is not here, and I'm just showing, for example, since there is I think I took a lot of time, so I have to reduce the time. I'm just skipping the burn through defect detection here. Experiments actually conducted for burn through and porosities for studies. Here the signatures are obtained by inducing porosities due to the atmospheric air, that is arc is shown here disturbance. We induced the porosity gas hole in the weldment by blowing arc towards the weld pool area by applying grease or a weld surface or by reducing the chilling gas flow. With this three technique, we induce the porosities. The air is paused for duration of 5 seconds and closed. You can see here for another 4 seconds to allow the welding arc to stabilize again, because we used robotic station for doing this welds, because to have a consistent weld we use these robotic stations. So process is repeated cyclically for 4 times so as to create a disturbed signal and a stable phase in the arc, and a similar discontinuity had been created in the weld. The transient of the segment has pores are shown below, and where the top of the pores. So here the PDD of this weld without defect and weld with that is the signature obtained with porosity are showing here. This comprises of some undisturbed portion also. So the volatility as well as the characteristics of the stability of the three clear peaks are disturbed or reflected in PDDs. Voltage PDD shows frequencies of lower and higher voltages, current PDD also shows similar extra peaks below the 0 amperes and around about 450 amps peak current. So this way we can evaluate from PDD, we can evaluate the porosity signals. We can also say that if there is a porosity and what kind of that is the porosity, that is root cause of porosity also can be achieved, obtained by this signature analysis. I'll show you another example. In the second set of another experiment on porosity, we control this shielding gas. That is shielding gas. We cut the shielding gas for about a few seconds, 6 seconds. We allowed the shielding gas, and for a few seconds we cut this shielding gas for 3 seconds. That can also see exactly in the timeline of the transient. So two porosities were created with this trial. The pores are shown here with the transient signals. When comparing the PDD of the porosity segment, shows a lot of disturbances. Voltage PDD shows frequencies of lower and higher voltages. Current PDD also shows similar extra peaks below 0 amperes and around 450 amps. The disturbed region of pores created due to lack of shielding gas, contaminated surface of and airflow are comparable but have distinct characteristics. Therefore, it was observed by these set of experiments, we could able to say that it is also possible to identify the defect with the root cause by analyzing or comparing the signals by signature analysis of this voltage and the current data. So I would like to conclude that here, the demand from the industry has been ever increasing with the introduction of new materials and processes. Organizations have to be equipped with machines which cannot only yield to the growing demands but meet the existing and the future needs. This is where the digital technology plays a major role in making it look simpler and integrate along with the new demands. Today, welding machines are more flexible or modular in nature to perform the desired task, and the machines are provided with IIoT enabled software platforms. Yesterday, Dr. Priyaji also had informed this because nowadays all the power sources, inverter based welding power sources, are being provided with the platforms with the high speed bus. For example, these Fronius machines of Transpulse, Synergic machines, and also CMT, every processes, including Kempi machines, every EWM, all these machines are, power sources are brought to factories along with the platforms to enable the IIoT in the factory environment. So, because of this, I would like to conclude that the future this would be a necessity one for welding industries. If we have to think of to adapt this advancement in digital technologies. Otherwise, we may miss the bus like Nokia or Ambassador. So, I wish to acknowledge the support of my Guru, University Professor Dr. Habil Refeld sir of Germany, the support given by my colleagues at WRA as well as BHL departments, and encouragement by BHL management for carrying out number of experiments to explore these possibilities of digital electronics technologies in welding applications. And also, finally, I would like to thank once again the organizers and the organization for the opportunity given to me. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity given to me for sharing my core area of welding. Work is the process analysis and the welding power source and consumer evaluation. Thank you for the opportunity given to me for sharing my experiences. Though I could not share most of the things, with this, I think I had done a little bit justice to my part by sharing at least a few amount of information of WRS experiences. Thank you very much, sir.